Well, it's been a while since I did one of these videos. Today I wanted to talk about a memory that I had not too long ago, and I thought it was relevant to my life because this I learned from a mentor that when I was in 10th grade, I did not know anything about business. This helped me out tremendously, and hopefully it can help you out as well in your journey. So when I was in 10th grade, I had aspirations to be a singer, a songwriter, a musician, and my aspirations were high. I feel like I had good talent because I practiced digitally, diligently, like many other people, who take their craft serious at that age. Uh, and yeah, that's kind of where I was in my life. I had the talent, but I did not know much about business. And I met this mentor guy. Well, he wasn't a mentor. I had to ask to be a mentor because I was like, that's really cool what you're doing. I see that you're business savvy, and finding out, that yeah, he owns, a business or two. And funny story, side comment that he asked me during a test. It was weird that he said, "Hey, do you want to give out bread to the community?" And I didn't know. Like I thought it was like, sure, I'll do it. But what it was a test to see if I would go out and knock on doors to see if I would give out bread to the community. And I did it. It wasn't something that I didn't think much of it. Some people said yes, some people said no. However, that was my experience in sales of it wasn't really hard sales either. It was like, do you want bread or not? Here's the list of items. And he brought the bread to the community and I gave it out. And I did that for like a week and then find out it was just a test to do it and I did it. So back to the story. So that's kind of the context of the mentor. It was just seeing if I was willing to go, out of my comfort zone to make things happen. And I guess I passed that test, and things were, I wanted to do more with my life. I wanted to see, what else can I do? How can I learn business? I'm like, okay, this guy's giving me bread. I don't know what he does. Give me bread to give to the community. Okay, like how else can I like make my own path in my career? I found out like he's a doctor of, he does like social, long time over like 15 years. But it was like he social engineering for how people would react in environments if you're put into a stressful situation, and how we not me but how he can calm, like how can you avoid a stressful situation, and doing different techniques on how to um, you know avoid situations such as say going to a party, and then how do you react when somebody offers you drugs or drinks? Would you say no? And that was his type of work, and then collecting that data. But that was a long story short after. So kind of went before, kind of went after, and this is how I learned business for the first time. So I gave you the context. So there was an event coming up. It was like a hip hop battle. And what I thought I had a good chance at, getting my name out there in the city and, showcasing my skills. And I was ready, prepared, had a nice rap, or, sometimes I was learning phonetically on syllables. So if you know anything about poetry, if if you hit your syllables in a good sequence, and that's a that's another story for another day on rhyming. I was really deep into poetry, because poetry is rap. And so long story short, I went to the event. He ended up buying me the ticket. He didn't go with me in the event. However, I got to see the panelists talk about different albums and the art of it. And I didn't network as I should. I didn't showcase my talents because there were other people better than me. And, you know, I didn't leave disappointed, but I left feeling like, what else? Like, you know, as any kid would. So I leave the event, he picks me up, and then he asks me, what did you learn? And I told him things about albums and things like that, but he was like, no, what you should have been paying attention to is how was the door handled? Were tickets being sold? How were they being collected? How was the security? How was the panelists aligned? How was the questions being given? How was the different sections of the event planned out? And this was my first taste of business, because it wasn't about the music. It was about how an event was put together. And that opened my eyes. I was like, wow, that is what I asked for, is how to learn business. And that was like something that really set in my mind of how to really coordinate operating events. And then I did events for 10 years, and long story short, but I mean, that's something that I learned, and that's something that you can take away is when you go to an event and you want to learn business, just don't go to an event to just party. Go to an event to learn the ins and outs of the business. So for example, if you want to be a singer, learn more than just your singing talent. Learn how security is, learn how the backstage, learn front of house, back of house, how the lights, how's the sounds, and that is the business aspect. And then you get into contracts and things like that. But that's a long story short. So I hope that piece of history of my mentorship can help you out in your journey. So thank you.